Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So in today's video, we're going to be playing with the Simple Flowers bundle from Concord and 9th. This is from the Kristina Werner line, and I really wanted to try ink blending with some of the new colours. And I love the fact that these stencils are so large that you can get 2 card fronts from them. So you spend all that time and energy doing the ink blending, but then you've got a 2-for-1 technique definitely with these stencils. They're 6 by 9. And there's 4 layers in this stencil. So you've got the centres of the flowers. And now they're not numbered because they're obviously quite self-explanatory. You've got 2 stencils for the flowers, 1 stencil for the leaves, and 1 stencil for the centres of the flowers. So obviously you can do the 2 flower stencils first, then add the leaves and then the centres of the flowers. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I've got a piece of smooth white cardstock and I'm going to line up my stencil with the corner of that cardstock. Now, I'm not using my grip mat for this because my grip mat isn't large enough. So I'm just going to use my magnets. Now, I get a few questions about my glass mat. So it's a glass media mat, but it's got a magnetic back. So that's why the magnets hold it down. It's from Glassboard Studio. They're really strong magnets and I'd highly recommend checking out their website. I absolutely love my glass mat. It was a well worthwhile investment. And obviously it's one of those things that once you've got it, you're not going to be buying a new one anytime soon. So I'm just starting to ink blend through the stencil using that gorgeous plumberry colour from Concord and 9th. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's like a reddish pinky purple. Really gorgeous colour. And I just bought the ink cube, so it is taking me a little bit of a while to get the ink down. I just wanted to try out the inks with the cubes first of all, rather than committing to buying a full-size pad. And there are refills available, so I don't think it matters too much which size ink pad that you choose. Let me know in the comments below if you prefer full-size ink pads or whether you like to buy the ink cubes. I definitely prefer the cubes because I think they're really good value for money. It means that I can have a few more colours in my stash and I don't need to worry too much about storage space then. So I'm just adding this second colour here. This is the new colour from Concord and 9th called Lakefront, and it's an absolutely gorgeous kind of teal blue. A really pretty colour, and I think it goes beautifully with that plumberry. I'm now coming in with pistachio for the leaves as well. And I love the way that these inks layer over the top of each other. So where the lakefront layered over the plumberry, you get a really deep purpley blue. And then where the pistachio layers over it as well, you get a slightly darker green. So these colours really worked well together. And obviously because they're dye-based inks, they are translucent. So that's why you can see the layers underneath. If you wanted a more opaque look, then you'd want to be using pigment inks for this. So I'm now trying to decide what colour I want for the centres of the flowers, and I've got this little swatch book that I've made with the Lisa Horton metallic inks. I really wanted to find a colour that would work well over the top of the colours that I've already used, but in the end I decided to go with the copper colour. So this is Copper Pot, it's a metallic ink. As I said, it's a hybrid ink, so it's going to layer perfectly over these dye inks underneath. I've just got a blending brush to apply that through the stencil, and then when I remove the stencil you can see the gorgeous design that it's left behind. And look at that shine that's in the centre of the flowers now. So you do get that lovely hint of metallic. And I'm just going to set that to one side to dry because the pigment ink will take a moment. So I'm just bringing in my stamping platform now, and I'm going to add a piece of white cardstock. Again, it's the same smooth white card that I've been using, and I'm going to stamp a couple of these images from the stamp set. So these are solid stamps, and that's why I'm choosing to use my stamping platform. You know me, normally I prefer just to use a stamping block, but it's definitely a lot easier with a stamping platform with solid stamps because it can take a few stamping times to get really good coverage of the stamped image. So as you can see, it's a little bit blotchy to begin with, but I'm going to repeat stamp that a few times. I do end up bringing in my Gina K Designs stamp chamois and my adhesive eraser just to get a few bits off those stamps, I think from the manufacturer of them. So once I've removed those blemishes, you can see that we then get a really good solid stamped image. So if you struggle with some of your solid stamped images, then try running an adhesive eraser over them to just remove any bits from manufacture. And you can also prime them with embossing ink as well. So that's another great way of priming your stamps. Whilst I'm doing some stamping, I'm also going to stamp a couple of the sentiments in this Twilight ink from VersaFine Claire. This is a gorgeous navy blue coloured ink. And I really love the font of those sentiments as well. So now I've die cut my sentiments and some of those floral images that I've stamped, I'm going to just trim down the panel as well, just so that it makes it a little bit easier to see the design. I'm also going to cut it in half so that we've got 2 panels to create 2 cards. And that's what I really love about these large stencils. You go to all that time and effort of ink blending, but you're going to get 2 cards at the end of it. So I really love the style and design of these stencils for that. So I've got my card panel cut down. I've got my card base, which is a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch top folding card blank. And I'm going to use that sentiment that says this is a paper hug. I was just measuring it on my trimmer just so that I make sure I cut a strip of vellum wide enough. So I think the strip that I cut was about 1 inch wide. And I'm going to wrap that around the bottom third of that panel. So first of all, I'm just going to score along the edge of the vellum with my nail. I'm just going to use a magnet to hold it in place while I grab my double-sided tape. And then I'm just going to peel off the backing paper, make sure it's nice and level before I peel off the other side of the tape, and then that way I can tack it down in place, ready for it to be glued onto our card base. I do decide to add some foam tape to the back of this just to give it a little bit of dimension, so I'm just using my long bladed Tim Holtz scissors to cut my foam tape here, and then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to peel off the backing tape and attach that down to my card front. So you definitely could add some liquid glue if you wanted a little bit of wiggle room with the tape, or you could glue it down flat if you didn't want any dimension at all. So the sentiment I'm going to pop on the right hand side, I already know that, but I'm just going to work out where I want some of these flowers. Now I don't end up using those blue looking flowers. What happened with those was I hadn't cleaned the plumberry off my stamp very well, and then when I stamped the lakefront over the top of it, it ended up kind of creating its own blue colour, so you get like a powder blue. So that's great to know, because obviously if you did want to create your own blend of colours, then you could do that using those 2 inks and you get that gorgeous blue. But I decided not to use those today because it's introducing another colour onto my card. I really wanted to add some centres to those flowers, and instead of ink blending, I'm going to use the dye that comes in the coordinating dyes. I added some more of that copper pot ink onto a scrap of white card, and then die cut the centres out so that it will match the copper ink on the card already. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue to stick those leaves down, and then I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape on the back of the flower just to pop that up and give it a little bit of dimension. And then for the sentiment, I also decided to add a few foam squares to the back of it rather than sticking it down flat, just because it was going to be tucked over the top of those leaves, so I didn't want it to have like any kind of bulge or bump from the leaf underneath. And so once that's stuck down, that is the first card finished for today. So nice and simple, and I really love how those inks work so well together. So for the second half of our panel, I'm going to use these nesting dies from Spellbinders. These are these stylish ovals. I've used them quite a few times in my videos now. They're a very unique shape, but I really wanted to die cut that from the centre of the card, and I really kind of feel inspired by Kristina Werner's samples from her Pretty Posies stamp set, I think it was, where one of these sentiments was an oval shape and it just looked really nice. So I really wanted to play around with that kind of idea on this second half of the card. So I've die cut an oval frame from some metallic gold cardstock, and then I'm going to use the larger die to die cut an oval from the stenciled background that we've created. And then that frame will sit really nicely around the edge of that oval. And I'm going to turn this card into a 5x7 card using a white card blank. I've then gone ahead and stamped and die cut some more of those flowers from earlier. And first of all, I'm going to stick this oval straight down onto our card blank using some liquid glue. I'm using the Burley Arts glue for this. And then once that's stuck down, I'm going to go ahead and add the frame around that. And then that's going to really help me to build the rest of the card from there. I have die cut a smaller oval from some vellum, and I'm going to use that to stamp a sentiment on it because I just think that that will look really nice. For a sentiment, I'm going to use this paper hug sentiment stamp set from Waffle flower. And I'm going to use the sentiment that says, hugs for today, love for always. I think that's really nice. So I'm just using my anti-static powder bag there on the vellum, and I'm going to stamp it in the Wow Embossing Ink. And then I'm just using my grid lines on my glass mat to help me make sure that I've got the stamp nice and centered. And then I'm going to add some metallic platinum embossing powder. This is a really kind of muted metallic tone. It's just a bit softer than any kind of gold because I don't have an exact match for the metallic card that I've used, so I really don't want the sentiment to clash with that. And once it's heat set, you can see it looks absolutely gorgeous. So then I'm going to add that to the center of my card. Now obviously vellum is notoriously tricky to adhere down because you can see the glue through it. So I've die cut a frame out of the same gold cardstock that I used around the main image, and I'm just going to add some liquid glue to the back of that and then attach it to the vellum. While the glue grabs, I'm going to use my magnets just to hold that in place, and I'm going to start gluing the centers of the flowers in. Now for the centers of the flowers here, I've die cut using the metallic gold cardstock that I've created the frames with, again just so that it matches really nicely. I've added some dots of glue using my Barely Arts glue, and I'm using a wax pickup pencil just to help me move those dots around. And then to attach the frame, I could just glue it flat, but I decided to add some thin strips of frame tape around the edge of it. I'd got some left over on my desk from another project, so I thought I'd finish it off using it on this frame, and that just meant that it popped it up and allowed the sentiment to really kind of show on the card without it blurring into the background. This is a great hack by using baking paper to cut your foam tape up without gunking up your scissors. So if you need to cut your foam tape to smaller strips or smaller pieces, by attaching your foam tape to some baking paper first and then cutting it, you don't get all that glue stuck to your scissors. So I can then just remove the backing tape and stick that down to the center of my card. And then I'm going to add these flowers and leaves just around the edge of the frame just to give it a little bit of extra interest. I just really felt that the card needed something else, and I think these flowers really finish it off nicely. So I'm going to add some liquid glue to the larger flower, and then I'm going to add some foam tape to the smaller flower where it overlaps. And then I can just tuck those leaves behind the flowers. And so that'll be the second card finished for today. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to let me know in the comments below which card is your favourite from today. And I'll leave all the products that I've used in the description box below if you're interested. As always, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button on this tutorial if you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more from me. I'll leave you with a few close-up photos of the finished cards now, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.